Hello, and welcome back to my little series that I do here on YouTube. Gonna try to do a podcast this time, hence the microphone I got right here. And today I want to spend some time to talk about Utah's housing market and the coronavirus and the effects that we're seeing with with the housing market from coronavirus. So I have noticed personally that there is some sort of effect. In Utah, we do have, it's a weird situation because you take Utah's housing market and we have 55,000 people who are in need of homes. So we have a housing shortage. We have a housing shortage of 55,000 homes. And so home builders aren't slowing down, they're still continuing to build. Homes are getting listed every day ever since this whole coronavirus pandemic started, and things are kind of weird. Coronavirus is like the wild card in this whole situation, and I've noticed that there are some things that are happening because of the coronavirus. So for me personally, my seller texted me, "Hey, let's take my house off the market." So when this whole coronavirus started, now we have this thing in Salt Lake County. You can't be with more than 10 people at one time. So they're trying to enforce the whole social distancing aspect to slow down the spread of coronavirus. And even before that happened, my seller was like, "Hey, let's take my house off the market until this whole pandemic thing goes over our heads, and as it gets warmer in the summer months, we'll throw it back on after, Corona happens," because she does live at her house still. It's not a vacant house, it's not a vacant listing. And she is potentially at risk if somebody who comes through with coronavirus and they open the door, right, to look at the washer and dryer or whatever. They could touch anything in the house and she could easily get sick from something like that. And with the coronavirus, it can be in your system and you wouldn't know it for 2 weeks for some people. And so that's kind of the danger of this whole flu that's going around, the coronavirus flu. That's kind of the danger, and the crazy part about it is because you can be spreading it around before you even know it. And so there's not much you can really do about it. Um, another thing I noticed too, like with me, is my buyers is they're kind of hesitant to go look at homes, and they're like, well, let's see what happens during the week. Everyone's kind of scared that we're gonna get quarantined, or the state's gonna say everyone has to stay home, no going to work, whatever. And my buyers are kind of just like, yeah, let's see what happens, and if things are still okay, let's go look at some homes. And I notice, even with my buyers, they're constantly cleaning their hands with wipes after every house they look at. And it really is kind of weird. We had some sellers just last weekend who we went and looked at their house, and the seller was at home and asked us to take our shoes off, and doors were all open so he wouldn't touch anything. And he has a little kid, so it is affecting us in some way. It's kind of the wild card, like I said, because we need to get people into houses in the housing market in Utah. It's not like that everywhere. With the stock market crashing, that's from the coronavirus. And right now, the housing market is still okay. I mean, people are still bringing in earnest money checks to the office, which means they're putting in offers. And it's still going strong. I don't think the housing market, in my opinion, I don't think the housing market will crash. And if it does, this whole coronavirus is going to have to play out to be a way bigger deal. It's going to have to play out for 6 months or longer for people to really, not want to look at houses or not want to list their house in terms of, you know, if we did get quarantined for a month, obviously every single industry is going to be hurt one way or another, with the exception of like Zoom calls. I heard like the Zoom CEO made a whole bunch of money because everyone had to stay at home and they're doing Zoom calls, right? So some things will be okay, but the majority of industries are going to take a pretty big hit, and it's kind of just it's I don't look at it as like a hit in the market. I look at it as just kind of like a pause. So everything's going to get paused for however long this thing happens, and then it's just going to pick right back up. So you look at the stock market; it crashed, kind of goes up, crashes, kind of goes up, crashes, and you know it really is just going down. And so after this whole thing gets over with, we're just going to see it go right back up. And I think that's what will happen. I don't know if it's really I don't know if you would say we're going into a recession. We might be, and there's not a lot of. It's hard for really anyone to say. Like when I talk to my brokers and other agents in the office, you know, they all say the same thing. It's kind of just we kind of have to see how it plays out. Nobody really knows what will happen with the housing market or with the market in general, with the stock market and everything that's going on, and we just kind of have to see how it plays out. It really is a wild card. Um, that's kind of all I have today about that. I do know rates are super low, so that is obviously attractive for buyers. Buyers can get into homes for rates that are record lows right now. And so that's why I do think buyers are continually pursuing homes and they're not really slowing down much. And that's kind of why we haven't seen the real estate market go completely dead. You know, like I said, I have a few experiences that are happening because of the whole coronavirus, but not everything. Like just the other day, you know, I saw one of the agents in our group chats. She listed a $1 million house, like 1.02 or something like that, right? So people are still amped up and ready to get their houses sold and off the market and get into something new. It's kind of crazy to me, you know, with the whole coronavirus, you have all these showings and people coming through your houses, and you really don't know if any of them have it or if, you know, if they're carrying it with them. Because, like I said earlier, you know, you don't really know if you have it, excuse me, until it's too late. So I just kind of coughed. I don't have corona. It's just I coughed choking on my when I was swallowing my drink there. But it is interesting, and think about if I can put it into good terms, we have a housing shortage. Number one problem. Number two, um, we need to get people in houses, right, to minimize that housing shortage. Three, builders are still going hard. Four, this whole coronavirus epidemic pandemic thing is kind of the wild card. We just have to see how it plays out. And that's all I got for you guys today on that. You will be hearing from me soon, and hopefully, I can update you on this whole situation. Topic next week will probably be a little bit different. But thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. It means the world to me, and I'm very grateful you took 10 minutes out of your day to watch my video. So thanks again. And like always, good people deserve good things.